Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Into the Veil. This is your host, Rachel. We decided to come back up to where we had done our last night walk on Arkansas Bigfoot. I believe the name of that is Watchtower Creepers. And we had some interesting EVPs, and I felt that it would be worth knowing what exactly was up here and if it was anything that we needed to be concerned about should we decide to do more exploring up here, especially at night. So I'm just tuning in for just a minute. Energy's very strong up here. The rod in my right hand is just going kind of crazy. But with that said, I also feel the people are fairly close. I did ask permission before we came up tonight from Rade Shah, which was the strong male energy that we had the other night. And I'm asking if he might like to help also with any explanation for the EVPs if he's aware of them. I cannot see my rods, but I can feel the one in my left hand moving, and it feels like it's going to my right. Can you see?
I can't see the one in your left hand. No, we've got every light turned out except for the infrared lights and a little lantern set deep in the woods behind Rachel.
Yeah, I can see. Okay, my eyes are kind of getting adjusted here in the dark, and it's pointing directly to my right, which tells me that he may be really close, which is fine.
And we do have the EMF meter, the little light meter set up on the left side of the screen, so it might light up if we get any activity. I hope that it works.
Okay. So right now I'm feeling that we have one of the family, and I want to say it feels like it may be Rade Shah right here to my right. Hello, brother. Thank you. He's welcoming us, and I hear something going on right behind my right also. Now, the other night we had some juveniles that were throwing little twigs and pine cones, and they may be close too, out of curiosity. Okay. So the EVPs from the other night. Rade Shah, would you be willing to help with those, please? If you can just settle that energy down a little bit. Oh. I think I'm more distracted than they are. Apparently I've got one right behind me. I'm not sure how to go about holding these, or if I even should at the moment.
That's, I think, one of the misconceptions a lot of people have when they see you using the rods. They think that the rods are, telling you a yes or a no, but it's more like they're a conductor of energy.
For me, they are a conductor, unless I specifically ask for confirmation, by which case they will do that. I hear you.
Yeah, I just heard a little crunch.
Okay. Everybody's fine. Everybody's relaxed, actually. Thank you. The first EVP, they're showing me that we actually had 3 separate energies the other night. Two stronger, one smaller or more sublime. There's a female, and this was the shorter EVP, not the long creepy sounding one. She the energy I'm pulling is from the early 1900s. 1919 is very strong, actually. But I'm feeling that back then there was a consistently I'm hearing moonshine, liquor, and it feels as though she may have been with, just one moment. The name Claudia is coming to me. But she feels as though she is with someone. I don't know that she was as much a part of operations. Her partner is the word coming to me. And I'm seeing a small child or baby being held. There's a small, I would call it an outbuilding, or it's not a cabin or a residence, could be more shack-like. Radha is saying that there is evidence of this still on the property foundation, maybe. So we might check that out of a daytime. Maybe they would help us find it. I'm trying to feel what happened. I get the word explosive, but then, my first instinct is to think that maybe there was an explosion. But then I'm sensing that perhaps a situation was explosive, that perhaps, because I'm seeing two men. And I'm wondering if there wasn't an altercation, but something happened and somehow this female, she got caught right in the middle of it, and it almost feels like gunfire and perhaps a stray bullet or a stray I don't feel that she was a target by any measure, but it just feels like everything happened very quickly and unexpectedly. And it's cold. Like right now, I feel like I'm freezing to death. It's very cold, and I want to say January. So that was one. Getting that skunky smell. It's okay, babies. The second one they're bringing me to feels it's very odd because it feels as though it's from another, feels very lost. And it almost feels like it stepped through a door, hello? My rod's going straight back behind me where I just heard that. Hello? It's alright.
Well, the EMF meter's going off too.
Okay. And it may be the energy of this that I'm drawing in right now, because the thing about this is that often when we discuss them, it will draw them close. It's a little magnetic. She is, she does not belong here. I see somewhere very east, like a whole nother country east. And she feels like she walks through. I almost get the sense that she was practicing something more dimensional or religious practice, and somehow stepped through, call it a portal or call it a door, energetically. It feels like it was supposed to go somewhere else.
You hear him tapping over there?
Yeah. But I'm not feeling anything threatening. But she just doesn't even feel like she belongs here. Like she's just, to say lost is an understatement. Not only is she misplaced in time, she's misplaced in place. I was trying to see if there was a name or anything, and I'm not really getting a clear name. It may be that I can help. I'm going to have to seek this out and see how I could possibly help. The other energy feels as though it was more elemental. Not really an intentional EVP. It's more like that band of where we were was open, so to speak, with these other energies, and somehow it kind of bled in, but it doesn't feel really important. Not to minimalize anybody, guys. And just to also recap the orbs that were in our last night walk in our woods, speaking of elementals, I feel very strongly that those were elemental energies that we, at night we aren't really watching where we're walking. And to be fair, during the daytime, I think we see a lot of things and subconsciously we sidestep them, or we know that they might be areas that feel more sacred to some of the forest beings. With that said, at night we are not as cognizant of where we're stepping, and I feel like we just kind of stepped into an area where there were some elementals, and we shocked them in that we don't normally step there, for one, and it just feels like they were just escaping this space. It didn't feel like we were being targeted for anything. I do think that we had a little bit of energetic backlash, but nothing really concerning. Any thoughts on that, Ken? Anything extra?
Well, a lot of those arches and glyphs that are out there are dimensional windows or gateways,
Right.
and we're aware of it. Like you said, in the daytime we can see where things are at and we kind of walk around, but before we got to that point, you could see the kind of hazy plasma effect. I even made mention of it.
And we probably should have stopped sooner. But I think you're right. I think that I'm not sure if the plasma, would you say the plasma felt like a door?
Well, it was just like a energetic, window, door, whatever you want to call it. But you could just see the energy resonating off of it.
Mm-hmm. I
Kind
can
of,
agree.
kind of like looking into a watery aquarium. It just didn't look right to the rest of the surroundings.
Yeah. I think had we not been so surprised by it, we probably would have given it more thought. But with that said, everybody's fine. Everything's fine there. I don't know. Any other thoughts or questions about the EVPs?
Well, I'm curious. We've had this EMF meter kind of spike a few times now that we've been talking about this. I don't know if you said her name was Claudia, if she is close enough that she's willing to try to communicate anything, or if you feel like she's already backed out.
Let's see. Claudia. Would you like to communicate? She said she'd like to communicate. I was asking how old she was, and she tells me 27. Repeatedly, she says, so cold. I mean, she just, so cold. And I feel, Claudia, how old was the baby? I feel that the baby is just months old, less than a year old. And I get the sense that she might even be pregnant again. She just says, so bad. They're so bad. I feel like she's talking about the men. And the one feels very abusive. Yeah, it's really picking up some energy. I must be hitting a sore spot with her. Claudia, is there anything else? Maybe we can get you home. 14. I get the sensation when I said get you home, I get the sensation that she's out of a family of 14. Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty common.
I feel her telling me that she was with this man because there were so many mouths to feed. She was having the baby and then getting another one. It didn't feel like she was welcome at home anymore. I'm not even sure they knew about the other one yet. And I just get the sense that she hooked up with this guy almost out of desperation. She just says times were hard. And I see her with just a, it feels more like a shawl than a coat. And I just see the baby wrapped in the shawl with her arm. It doesn't even feel like a separate wrap for the baby. Anything else, Claudia? No? Okay. So we'll work on getting Claudia to her real home. And I think we will wrap that up.
Well, the big guys are getting closer around us because that skunky wet dog smell is getting really pungent right now.
I just had the thought that I should ask Rade Shah if there's anything that he would like to interject, if he's able to. No. I heard welcome, and I felt that they were glad to have us back, actually, which was nice. The other night was a little bumpy, and I think being a new area, our nerves were just maybe a little more on edge than usual. But like Ken had said the other night, it gets, your adrenaline gets to pumping. So I think we will leave these people in peace. We will come back during the day and maybe bring them a thank you. But I already appreciate that they are willing to be so close and are curious. I feel that Anku definitely helped in that the other night in letting them know, or Rade Shah at least, know who we were. And I just feel that they feel safe, whereby we feel safe. So, with that said, please visit Arkansas Bigfoot. That will have the Wichita Creepers video on it. And you will be able to hear the EVPs that we're talking about. The one is a little chilling, and I feel that that's the one that's completely misplaced.
The general consensus that most of the people had say that what they hear is, are you lost, or you are lost, or maybe saying it both ways, but it says it 3 different times almost back to back. You are lost, are you lost, you are lost, something like that.
And there's always a debate with souls as to when they pass over, or maybe in this case if they get caught in another time-space situation. There's always debate as to whether they truly see things as they are, or if they are looping back through an experience they had. And I do think, much like anything interdimensional, that there are windows, and they might pick up on the presence of others. So it could be that in that area that we passed through, that was a window, to the effect that it made it seem like we were in their space, when technically we were getting the EVP in our space. So when you get into that 4D space, it's a little elusive. And dimensions lie very closely together. So we'll talk some more about that later, but if you have any questions, please do ask below. Your comments are always welcome. If you are interested in your own channeling session, I'm happy to reach out to loved ones that may be over to the other side already. Energetic readings, if you just kind of want to know where you're at right now in your own process. I also offer regular classes if you're already in the process of ascension and maybe you're trying to work through some things. There's really not a whole lot when it comes to energy that I can't help you with. Again, if you have a question, just email me. It'll be in the video description box as well as the About section. And I hope you all have a great night. Like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you soon. Thank you.